Now, the Special Investigator of the Nigeria Bar Association probing the invasion of Justice Odili's house by security agents Monday Ubani has said that the parade of 14 suspects in Abuja by the police last Thursday is only the first step in the process of getting to the root of the matter. Ubani, who was given the assignment last Friday by the president of the Nigeria Bar Association, Olumide Akpata, said that the parade of the suspects had not violated or vitalized his mandate. Now, he said the NBA's demand for President Muhammadu Buhari to set up an independent panel of inquiry to look into the case and unravel the perpetrators still stands. He said the fact that the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, disowned the alleged arrowhead of the illegal operation, Lawrence Ajojo, was not enough to exonerate him. Now, for a closer look at the emerging facts about this incident, we are now being joined by Monday Ubani, a lawyer and a special investigator appointed by the president of the Nigeria Bar Association to look into this matter. I want to say thank you very much for joining us here on Newsday. We want to hear from you. As a special investigator, what are you seeking to unravel in this particular inquiry?
The NEC of Nigerian Bar Association met in an emergency meeting and reached several decisions, one of which is to ensure that on the part of Nigerian Bar Association, they will be able to know the true facts of the situation that happened with the said invasion. They want to get first-hand information concerning what transpired, who actually instigated the raid, who authorized that particular invasion, under what authority was it carried out, and all that. So that's why they have actually constituted a one-man investigative committee to look into that and present a report to the Nigerian Bar Association. That particular announcement was made on the 5th of November by the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mr. Olumide Akpata. And so we are on it now in order to get the accurate information of what actually transpired.
Mr. Ubani, thank you for that. We also hear that SERAP and a part of the UN is asking for the Nigerian government to put pressure on President Buhari to look into this matter. My question is, after the investigations are done, what will happen? Will the culprits, will the results of the investigation be made public? And what will happen to the actual perpetrators of these heinous crimes?
Yeah, thank you. I think the police have actually effected arrest of some of the culprits. They have 14 of them in their custody. But according to them, 7 of them are still at large. Now, the NBA wants that those who actually perpetrated this particular crime should be punished, should be spotted out and punished. And then there should not be a reputation. If you recall that in 2016, there was such incident where some of the justices, their homes were invaded by DSS. And up till now, nobody was punished. And then the issue that came out that time that it was a case of a mistaken identity as to some of the homes that were invaded. And we say we can't continue to allow such mistakes to be made, especially when it involves a very important arm of the government, the judiciary. We should not allow the judiciary to be intimidated. We should not allow the judiciary to be kept under perpetual fear in the discharge of their function. And the NBA happens to be a major stakeholder in the administration of justice in Nigeria. You must agree with me. And so they felt that this matter must be thoroughly investigated. In fact, the minimum requirement of NBA, as conveyed by the president of the bar, Mr. Olumide Akpata, is that the president should set up an independent panel of inquiry to look into this matter and then give an accurate account of what transpired and then make recommendations as to those who are culpable and then punishment meted out to them. That is a minimum requirement. So we expect the president to do all that. We appreciate what the Nigerian police have done. At least they have put a face to those who were involved. We now know there are people that were involved, and some of their names have been mentioned. So we proceed from there in order to get to the entire route, because we still believe that more questions that demands and answers have not been given in this circumstance. So It's a holistic thing that we need to carry out so that we don't allow this to continue to happen over and over again, especially when it concerns an arm of government that is clearly very grave in their responsibility to the country.
All right, Mr. Ubani, some would say that the NJC should be taking charge of investigations like this. What's your thought about that? And do you think the NJC are being too quiet talking about the Nigerian Judicial Council in respect to how judges are being treated here in Nigeria?
I agree with you, but you know that the NJC meets, I think, once in a quarter. I think they met prior to this particular incident that happened. But one thing that is very comforting is that the Supreme Court issued a statement that was clearly very profound. And in that statement, it contains a lot of profound statement that send a right signal that no longer will the judiciary allow itself, to be messed up by any other arm of government. So I think when the NJC meets, there will be clearly a statement that will come from that angle, and they should take charge in order to ensure that none of their members will in any way be messed up anymore. We should have a judiciary that is clearly independent, that doesn't lean on any other arm of government in order to carry out their responsibility. That issue of intimidation and fear that is clearly palpable in the discharge of their duty should be absent. And so I think that NJC, because of the fact that they meet once in a quarter, may not have met in order to take a common position concerning this. And we're expecting that very soon that actually will come from the angle. But don't forget also that the CJN, who happens to be the head of that NJC, through the Supreme Court has issued a statement, and that statement is very profound. And I am so much happy with such a statement coming from the Supreme Court, because they are usually very quiet concerning things like this. But they came out, smoking with fire, saying that they can back, they can also bite, meaning that they should not be taken for granted, because they will never allow themselves to be intimidated anymore.
Mr. Ubani, according to a report, it was a fake CSP who was part of this ragtag group of people who stormed the house. His name is Lawrence Ajodo, and apparently it's his 5th illegal raid. I know you're not a law enforcement agency, but really briefly, I'm wondering how someone can do this 5 times without being caught.
He has been doing it before now, he said?
Yes, 5 times.
Yes, he even in his own statement he made when arrested, said that the Ministry of Justice has given up to 29 jobs, recovery to him, which he has carried out. But that in this particular incident that has to do with the raid on the house of Honorable Justice Mary Odili, that he didn't receive the instruction of the Attorney General to do this, but the Attorney General has given him 29 jobs prior to what this particular thing that happened recently. So, and then there is this story also in the Punch that I read on Sunday, in which it was also reported that this is not the first job they have done. They have been
I want to say
the former president.
It's rather unfortunate we're out of time, Mr. Barney. We'll still certainly catch up with you, because this is a developing story. All right, we've been talking to Mr. Barney, talking about one of the lead special investigators for the case at the raiding of Mary Odili's house.